All right, so it's an exciting day today. I am so looking forward to. It's actually daytime for me, nighttime for you, because we are here live with Bianca Rutgeb, who is in Switzerland, and she's going to share some gems of wisdom today. Because one thing that I've been hearing from so many amazing leaders these days is that there is a tremendous amount of overwhelm right now. We're kind of like on mile 27 of a marathon. You know, the pandemic's been going on over a year. There's so many things going on that we really need some tools to learn how to get grounded, get a hold on overwhelm, and also learn how to be productive as possible. And I'm not just talking about productivity in terms of what we can get done at work, but productive in our well-being, productive in our joy, productive in a lot of different aspects of our life, which in turn contributes to our productivity at work. So Bianca, you are a meditation expert, you're a yoga expert, and you're also a fellow high performance coach. Welcome. I am so excited to have you here today.
Thanks, Cheryl. It's a pleasure and a great honor to be on your show. And yeah, you're right. Just recently, I got a call from my brother-in-law telling me he wants to join my yoga class because he's suffering from panic attacks. So it's getting very real at the moment. People having a lot of stress in the home office situation, and with the like mixing boundaries between family life and job and everything in one place. It's testing the limits, and it's going on way too long. Like, what is it now, 15 months or so? Breath work and meditation really helps. And if like even the guys now come and say, can I join your class maybe via Zoom, there's something going on for sure.
Especially if the guys are joining, right? Just kidding. So now here's the thing.
Yeah, it's getting real.
Yeah. So I want to jump right into it, but before we talk about, and have you actually share some tactical tools with us, I want you to talk a little bit about, in layperson's terms, about the physiology, what's happening when we are overwhelmed, and the consequences of not getting a grasp on some of these pretty simple tools that can help us get grounded. So can you explain that a little bit?
Well, so you might remember biology class when they talked about fight or flight and the rest and digest nervous system. So a lot of things are added to our system, to our nervous system. You have the stress, which raises adrenaline and cortisol, like the hormones in your body, and gets you like a threat to your body. Your body thinks, like in ancient times, there is a saber-toothed tiger just around the corner, and you need to get ready for running away or fighting it. But this never happens nowadays. We sit on a desk all day, static, and all this stress hormones in your body, they won't get dissolved. We don't do the sport. We don't get out there that cannot be properly unwind, and switching into this healing system of resting, digesting, and it's really what it's named after. Only there you can heal your body and sleep well and get all the repair functions, the blood pressure, the regulation of so many things. So if you're always on and never have a time to just be yourself, have a break, have something in regards to self-care, all these stress hormones will not be dissolved. And you might see it in belly fat, because that is also preparation function for winter or harsh times. There's so much kind of change in your body, and without proper treatment, this will resolve into either pain or into sleep issues, in anxiety, in you name it. So many health issues nowadays can be traced back actually to stress. And if we deal with it at the beginning, we might kind of get off the hook quite easily, because you can breathe everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's so true. And if you think that what Bianca's talking about isn't real, keep in mind that Gallup's done a study and there's literally hundreds of billions of dollars being lost every year. And it's probably worse now because the research has not come out yet from 2020, the pandemic, but literally hundreds of billions of dollars are being lost. So I want you to take a think about what are the consequences, not just for yourself and your family, but also within your organization. So what we're talking about today, it's my true hope that Bianca is really going to share some things that can help impact you, your family. You can start teaching even young children about it, and certainly, your team as well. So here's the thing. Let's go ahead and jump right in. And again, and it seems like too, before you start with the tools, that the consequences of not learning about breath work and learning how to manage overwhelm can be pretty severe. I mean, they can manifest in real physical symptoms, not just anxiety, but like you said, a lot of, we're going to retain fat, our blood pressure is going to go up. And it can really is the cause of a lot of major diseases out there right now. Maybe not the cause, something that exacerbates it, because it seems like we all, a lot of us have the propensity for disease possibly, but maybe it's dormant because of our lifestyle, because of our ability to manage stress, our diet and those things. But if we don't get a hold on this, it's just going to unlock it and just create a lot of havoc in physical symptoms and diseases. So I take this topic very seriously, because we cannot be sustainable high performers if we are in a constant state of overwhelm. So without further ado, can you share a couple tools, maybe one for managing overwhelm and then also one for productivity? Because a lot of times people think is productivity. I mean, personally, I think productivity is like the ugly stepsister of the family, because I never seem perfect at it, but none of us are. But productivity is more than just getting things done during the week. Because if we're not productive, then it raises stress, it raises overwhelm. So I think this topic on productivity, it's a lot deeper than a lot of people realize. It has a lot bigger impact on people's lives. So can you share a tool for productivity, a tool for managing overwhelm that can help us, accelerate into the year, into Q2 and beyond, without that feeling of overwhelm and stress and feeling good about what we're doing?
Right. So first, I want to give you the grounding breath, which is to really calm down and help you to be able to think again. Because as you might know, if you're getting into stress and overwhelm, you cannot think clearly. You might get like myopic and really not seeing left and right, and maybe the solution right at hand. So the first one is really calming you down to be able to function, first of all, and maybe to sleep at night. So I really encourage you to try this at home when you got the time. Do the replay, or we have later on something for you as well where you can watch it again and learn it. So those two breath exercises are from the Inner Access System, actually from Max Strom, and they have an immediate effect. So don't just look at it and be weirded out maybe, but feel it. The importance here is really feeling what it does in the body, like what is your before and what is your after. Two things about the breath here. It's like at the beginning, if you've never done that work before, it's open lips, open teeth, and really open mouth. So it will maybe look awkward for you. Do it in a safe place. And the throat is constricted a little. So you don't have like everything open. The mouth is open, yes, to get a lot of oxygen in, but the throat in the back is constricted to have resistance breathing. And this form of breath goes into your chest. I moved back a little. So we want to breathe into your ribs, side ribs, and even the shoulder blades to get like an inflation of the chest, not the belly. So this gives you a really load of oxygenation and helps you to get into this nervous system that normally you cannot influence, but with the breath you can. So the charm of breath work is it gives you a way into your body and is easier than saying meditate, because a person who is stressed out will never be able to sit still and meditate. So this is one step before meditation to make you ready to meditate. And the first thing is really open mouth, constricted throat, and a wide stance. It's also called horse stance because you're a little bent knees sitting like on a big fat horse. And we do it with the arm movement to stay in the body. What often happens nowadays is people get very distracted. If you combine breath work with an arm movement, you stay more in your body and not get torn to the future or the past or your laundry or whatever is happening, but just keeps you longer still in your like attention span. So the thing is, it's inhaling, arms go up, and an exhale, arms go down. It's a soft breathing like an ocean and not Darth Vader, because that often happens. And you separate really the teeth and the lips. Get a lot of energy and oxygen into the ribs, but not in the belly. Belly breathing is a different topic. So we'll do just a few more. One inhale up and the exhale round shape down like a dome. And after that, you just bend forward a little, reach out, gather extra calmness to your belly. Step your feet together and close your eyes to notice how you feel, how your body responds or reacts. And normalize your breath. Sometimes a feeling can come up, or a memory, or even tears, because you might have heard before that emotions are, for example, in traditional Chinese medicine, they will tell you emotions are stored in the body. So either you have inspiration in your lungs, are the place of inspiration, or grief. And if a lot of stuff is kind of compounded and stored in the body with breath work, that might come out. So if you're a beginner to breath work, don't be scared if tears come up, or a feeling or a memory. It helps you to kind of digest that and get it out of the body, but make space for processing it and dealing with it. And that is why it also can be beneficial if you are suffering from anxiety or depression even.
Wow, that's really powerful.
So and that is my go-to, for example. If somebody's really like stressed out, home office situation, important meeting coming up, you don't know what to do, what to say, you just go for something like that. Do a few rounds, like 2 minutes or so of breathing, and get centered again.
And even if you don't have 2 minutes, that sounds like an eternity. Like do 10 breaths, you know,
yes.
and people that are working at home, and maybe maybe you live in Manhattan and you don't, you're living in a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom apartment with your family. You might have to lock yourself in the bathroom and just do some rest. I mean, do what you need to do. It's a quick way to get yourself out of your head, and this just back into the present, and that'll help you feel more grounded. So what about increasing productivity? Because one thing that can help with overwhelm is for us to be more productive during the day, so we can be really ninja about that, and therefore, increase the amount of time that we have in a day. So do you have some breath work for that?
So I like the fountain breath for that. You will see in a minute why it's called like that. It really looks a bit like a fountain and water bubbling up. But it's twofold, I would say. It has a releasing function, like releasing the old and getting new energy in it. So for that, I would really add an intention. The first few rounds, I normally do releasing pain, anger, anxiety, or if you're bored, or whatever is kind of the luggage you carry today. The first rounds, we get that out of the system. And then we breathe in not only new breath, new oxygen and energy, but also it could be more joy or more fun or more inspiration. Whatever you need or what would help you for this day, you can load the system with that. It sounds very odd, but people feel a difference normally.
Yeah, you can probably feel it more than people can understand you explaining it.
Right. So I would, again, same stance. It's like sitting on a big fat horse in this horse stance. The legs are wide but parallel. And this time, you're like, oh, I have to go a bit back. So this time, you bend a little down, gather water like you would lift it up, and then you throw it out. So breathing up, and on chest height, away. And the first rounds really throw out the garbage, the like negative stuff you carry, or what was the week's load of stuff, you just get it out. So first rounds, negative away, and then you stay with the same movement, but you now take new joy, new health, new energy. It could be more calmness or whatever is needed for your next task, and load that. And again, like we did before, you bend over at the end, bring it in towards your abdomen, your belly, close your eyes. Just notice how you feel and what's going on now. Mm-hmm. And that's all.
Yeah, it seems so simple, but I've done this before because you've come in, we've had you as a guest in my monthly, Limitless Leader Monthly, and you were so gracious to be a guest in there. And so I've become more familiar with this and practice this in addition to some of the other mindset strategies that I have. And it's so powerful. And one thing too, and this will be a conversation maybe for another day, but there are things that we can do to guard ourselves against negative energy, like toxic energy. If I've also unfortunately keep hearing from various different places and people about being in meetings and having people behaving badly. And so how to protect themselves from it, not chipping away at their own self-efficacy, sucking them from their energy and all that. And so sometimes if I personally am not typically in those meetings, but sometimes I get pulled into mediations to sit with people and over these. And one strategy is, and I believe it's a Buddha stance, but it's actually, when this starts happening, just placing up your hand. It's like protecting your energy in a sense. So where you're hearing it, but you're not allowing it to kind of come into your field of influence.
Yeah.
So And you can do it so it's not up here, it's down lower, it's below the screen. So what do you think about that?
Say again?
I said, what do you think about that?
The protection piece?
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
So actually, I tried that, and a coaching client of me tried that as well. So it works. With very difficult meetings, or if you have you feel attacked, one of the you cannot see it that much, is just place your left hand on your heart area for a moment. So this is one of, nobody really realizes that if you're in a meeting and it's hectic, I not see that. So that really can help you calm down. And a more protective movement, it's from cutting cords, but like a soft version is just to brush down your shirt. You do like a little, like, this cannot touch me, or I'm cutting this, I'm cutting it away. And that you can do in a supermarket if somebody's very negative and hostile there, or if somebody is in a meeting and you just like something is on your shirt and you just brush it away. Hardly ever somebody noticed that.
Yeah, and it's almost like saying, I don't accept that. Like, I hear you. And maybe we can even go into some self-reflection later, is, and observe it, maybe learn from it, or think at a minimum, brush it away, create some space so you can think about how to best deal with it at another time.
Yes.
But so those three things, just to for anxiety, for productivity, and guarding yourself against negativity are so important. Now, I know it's going to be difficult to just automatically be able to do this from a video. So don't you have something that you're going to share with everyone to help us out a little bit?
Of course. So you see my website down below. On this website, biancaradkeb.com, I created a freebie for times like that. It's called Island of Serenity, and holds 5 ways. It's actually more than 5 ways, but 5 categories to find your calm. And it speaks about those 2 breath actions we did, and has the videos for it, like the links to it. It has topics about meditation, self-care, some stretches you can do if you're sitting on the desk in a non-ergonomic situation at home, maybe, or on your kitchen table. So it's like 10 pages, I guess, about what can you do if you need an island of serenity, but you're stuck at home and the island is far, far away. So what can you do to stay calm, avoid the madness, and just recenter and get you a break? So get it if you like.
I love that. Island of Serenity. I think right about now, everybody can live an island of serenity. So if this has served you, and you need a little bit of serenity, or you need a little less overwhelm and a little more productivity, I would really encourage you to go to biancaradkeb.com and go ahead and download that and start, do what I just read the book Atomic Habits for the second time by James Clear. And what he says, if all of this is sounding like overwhelming and you're more like, it's the 2-minute rule, the 2 minutes of breathing, like pick something out of the island, this island of serenity, and pick 2 minutes worth of something to incorporate into morning, just to start off with, or as soon as you get triggered, overwhelmed. Just start small. That's most important, and be able to get consistent and add over the long term. So,
and that's really a big one.
Yeah. So, Bianca, thank you so much for sharing these gems of wisdom. I know that you have studied and practiced with some of the top yoga and meditation experts in the world, and I really appreciate you taking some time to spend with us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure and an honor. And if there are questions, people can reach out, of course.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go as soon as we get off. I'm gonna go download that because I can't wait to look.
Have fun and good